Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Or travelers. Yeah, let's get that music faded. Hope you're all doing well. It is I, Kyle Culver, Gaming's Diabetic Gamer, and this is kind of a test stream for YouTube. I've been streaming all the time over on Twitch. Well, okay, not all the time, but whenever I can over on Twitch. And I decided to switch over and see what I can do with YouTube. See what YouTube can do for me. So I figured why not we start with some of the most important things that have been happening just in this past day, and that is Hello Games announcing a new game coming from their studio. Of course, I think we all saw it at the Video Game Awards. It was a wonderful surprise. As soon as I saw the words that said Hello Games from Hello Games, a Hello Games game or whatever, Like, that was like, I really paid attention. And I was not disappointed. So, I figured, why don't we take a look at it, discuss what it is. I'm assuming this is what happened with the Hello Labs experiment that they were talking about last year, I think. It was a year after they released No Man's Sky. Hello Games said we're going to be working with smaller developers to help them move their game forward, which is fantastic. You know, you gotta love when any kind of developer does that, when anybody, anywhere, does that. So we're going to take a look at the trailer, and then we're going to go to the website and check out all the stuff that the website has to offer, and just kind of dive into the info of what this game has so far. So I'm going to fade that music right out, and let's get into it here. I'm going to go straight to the video itself. It's a Friday night. I'm sure you all are out having some fun. 6:13 p.m. It's kind of an early stream for me, actually. Let's see here, what do we got? Here we are. Alright, so this is the Hello Games YouTube channel. I'm gonna take a quick gander here.
Shadowlands and forgotten paths, you will find a road. Like an owl, you must fly in moonlight with an open eye and use your instinct as your guide to navigate the way that lays before you. You were born to take the greatest flight. Like a serpent and a dove, you will have wisdom born of love and carry visions from above into the places no man dares to follow. Shelter from the storm.
So good. As a video editor myself, I find these kind of trailers the most effective. There's a really, really nice, touching song and soundtrack throughout that entire video, and then it's just a story of showing shot by shot the beauty of the game, the beauty of what's happening. You can see there's a lot of obstacles in place. There are a few different characters here. I'm seeing so a primary blue and red character. One of them makes it through, one of them doesn't. So maybe there are other paths that players can take. But I really like the direction that this entire thing looks like it's going. It looks beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Let's check out the website. So they got the trailer going on in the background there. Again, like, it's just so good. That effect of the ghost coming out? So, like, we're interchanging between the red character here and the blue character, and then these other three guys. Looks like maybe they're leaders of some sort? Wishlist now! Platforms to be announced. Platforms to be announced, which means, come on guys, it's going to be on Xbox, it's going to be on PlayStation. No doubt. I could actually see this being on the Switch too. Definitely on the Switch. Sean Byers! Twitter bird confirmed main antagonist. Oh man. That bird just caused all sorts of problems for that little guy. I do like the approach of Hello Games short as well. If they continue that with all of their trailers, oh, it's gonna be so good. See, I want to know who these three guys are. They look like miners, explorers. You got interesting creatures like coming out here and there. Very fantastical. Adventurous, mysterious. Looks like some sort of puzzle mechanics going on there. By two developers, yeah. Very cool. It makes you wonder, like, who's in charge of what. Like, there's so many great things going on here. Character design is a really hard thing to accomplish in video games, just in general. And you know, I can see what a lot of people are saying, that this definitely has a Journey vibe to it. I mean, just look at the character design. The kind of pillowy, fabric-y outfit that these characters have, it just screams Journey. Moving down here, let's see. Discover a purpose. The Last Campfire is an adventure, a story of a lost ember, which I assume is this guy here, trapped in a puzzling place, searching for meaning and a way home. Can't we all relate to that? Hey, Sean, what's going on, man? Did you ever play Lost Winds? No, but I just added it to my cart, and I'm about to get that. Actually, I can get that today, because today was payday for me, so I'm going to pick that up, and I'm going to play that. If it's anything like what the ratings look like for that game, I'm pretty stoked. But I've not played that. I definitely want to. So it's a pretty simple story, pretty straightforward, but very, 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 very touching. I can expect a lot of inner conflict going on, so you got a lot of kind of existential questions. Who am I? Where am I? What am I supposed to do? All that sort of jazz. Searching for meaning and a way home. What is home? Where is home? Who is home? You know? Wishlist now. I already did. On a journey. Travel deeper into the lands beyond the dark forest and overcome the adversities? Adversities. Oh my god. I knew that word. I knew what it was. Before you. Journey Abzu vibes, for sure. You see this game having a really subtle story that is much deeper than we realize. Exactly. I'm with you on that. This game is definitely more, it's linear, right? It's just one way, discovery, journey, all the way through. Such interesting environments too, like there's so much going on here. It's like a puzzle on this pig's belly that you obviously have to interact with. The character is holding some sort of berry or fruit or something. Uncover a world. Discover beautiful wilderness filled with lost folk, strange creatures, and mysterious ruins. So maybe that's who, well, I mean, maybe that's who this pig is. Part of the ruins. Mysterious ruins. Plus you hope the game has a lore. I think it will. I think it may not harp it too much, but I feel like it will have some sort of backstory to it that will help kind of push the story forward, push the characters forward. Or at least I hope YouTubers create theories. Some of the most innocent games movies have the darkest hidden secrets. That's true. It's very true. I'm starting to get into this whole theory mentality as well. I can't help but, you know, think, what if this? What if that? It's very exciting. Strange creatures and mysterious ruins. Beautiful wilderness filled with lost folk. So maybe those other three characters that look like miners, maybe those are part of the lost folk. Then again, we may not have even seen those people yet in the trailer. Or the short. Sorry, the short. This is really cool. I'm really curious about these little critters right here. I'm really curious. They kind of scream what is it? Miyazaki's pieces of just really cute characters. It's again that character design that I think really kind of pushes the overall aesthetic of the game. It's described as a short, so I really don't think it will be too deep. I don't know. You never know. I don't know. That's something you could theorize, right? Like, there might be a sequel. There might be a prequel. I hope they don't do that, though. I've had enough of prequels, really. I think everybody has. Maybe this is the prequel to No Man's Sky! Okay, just kidding. Just kidding. We don't need that. Light the last campfire. Find hope and carry it with you on your journey to light the last campfire. Which begs the question, who is the last campfire? Why is it so important to light this thing? Again, I think that goes back into the fantasy aspect of the game and how the campfire could be an energy of some sort that will help you move along the way in your journey. Miyazaki, yeah, totally. Maxime, welcome. How you doing? Such a departure from No Man's Sky, but I absolutely love it. I hope Hello Games continue to formulate these short experiences. Depth isn't defined by quantity. Just look at Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah. Quantity. Yeah. I agree. I like how different this is from No Man's Sky. I mean, when you hit No Man's Sky, they nicknamed that project the Skyscraper Project from when they were just starting developing the thing, because they wanted that to be their AAA game as an independent studio. Where do you go from there, right? They opened up Hello Labs and said, hey, we want to help smaller developers, you know, craft their games. And I think this is exactly what they were going for. Which makes me excited, very happy for them. From a small studio, like I said. A unique tale from Hello Games and the creative minds behind Lost Winds. Lost Winds added to my cart. Wishlist now. I already did. The Last Campfire announcement trailer. Oh, they called it a trailer. It's a short. It's a short, guys. It's a short. Don't worry. We know. We know. Available 2019. All right, so we know it's not coming in December. amps it up a little bit, create some anticipation. They might even release a few more shorts. That would be really interesting, just to kind of get a feel of the world a little more. All right, press kit. Fact sheet. Oh, no price yet. I can't speak into pricing of games because I don't know everything that entails developing a game. But when you think about two people developing a game, and a game that looks this beautiful, and there is some level of depth in regards to a journey and finding your home and all that jazz, I would easily say $15 or $20. I would gladly pay more but I don't know. Again, I'm not a marketer. I have no idea. What do you guys think? Yeah, how much will it cost? Who knows? 30 bucks? Definitely not 60. This is not a $60 title. Definitely not. If it is, I'd be very, very cautious. Wait for that thing to go on sale. The Last Campfire is the first Hello Games short, smaller, more experimental projects and developers at the studio work in the name of fostering creativity. From Engadget. Hey, feel free to post the links too. Because I'd love to read all the other articles on this game. I've opened up, I think I have. I don't think I've blocked links, so feel free to share them. Last Campfire is an adventure, a story of a lost ember trapped in the puzzling place, searching for meaning and a way home. You can only imagine how close these two developers are to this game, like how much this is just their baby. It's so evident in the short. Features. Oh, this is interesting. Discover a purpose on a journey, undercover a world, light the last campfire, and from a small studio. So the features, that's just an overall look of the game, really. I was thinking mechanic features. I got too excited. Blog posts. Is this a Hello Games blog post, or is this directly... I think it's just part of their press kit, I guess. There you go, there's a link. No Man's Sky, new game last... What? Come on. Of course they have to put No Man's Sky in there, right? Or else no one's gonna find it or search for it or whatever. We've just been to the Game Awards and we have some news. The last few years have been a crazy time, no doubt. Launching No Man's Sky felt like an impossible task that we somehow managed to pull off. Having a positive and active community 2 years later also seems like an impossible task. And again, it was. And again, somehow, with a lot of hard work, we've managed that too. Highest 20, lowest 10. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Because Lost Winds kind of settled on $10, right? So anywhere between 10 and 20. It's a pretty good guess for Steam anyway. This was one of the reasons that we were at the TGAs, because No Man's Sky was nominated for Best Ongoing Game. Something we're very proud of. Something you should be proud of. Good job, Hello Games. Honestly, if they didn't open up the voting to the audience and give them the ability to vote every single day on the same thing over and over, I think No Man's Sky would have won. There's another reason we went to the TGAs, and that was to announce a new game we've been working on secretly for a few years, The Last Campfire. It's an adventure, a story of a lost ember. Together, you will discover a beautiful wilderness filled with lost folks, strange creatures, and mysterious ruins. Together. What does together mean? Is it multiplayer? We're gonna see orbs. So weird seeing Hello Games associated with something that isn't No Man's Sky, right? It is. It's a little weird. It's refreshing, but a little weird. You'd imagine No Man's Sky is this all-encompassing, all-ensuing entity that they can't get away from. I mean, it's just, we're going to get into talking about the possibilities of No Man's Sky in a second here. But yeah, yeah. We call it a Hello Games short. Like Pixar shorts, it's a way to foster creativity and new voices in the studio. We started by making Joe Danger before No Man's Sky, and we want to pay forward our success to give others the opportunity to do the same. I'm still really curious as to like how much money they made on No Man's Sky. Or at least their earnings this past quarter. I don't even think they released that yet. I'm so proud that just 2 of our team... So is this 2 people from the Hello Games company studio has been able to make something so artistically interesting and so fun and unique to play. Fun and unique. I like those words. It reminds me of why I love working at Hello Games. We look forward to sharing more with you in the future. We aren't announcing platforms yet, but we'd love you to wishlist on Steam here, which they've been reminding you with every single turn of the website. Thanks, Sean. Video, see the trailer. Images, which are absolutely just gorgeous. See these curious creatures. I think the layering effect is just something else. They've officially joined Hello Games now. So from Hello Labs to Hello Games. We don't even know if it's popular in China. No Man's Sky? Oh yeah. I've been curious about that. You think about all the YouTubers that are covering No Man's Sky, and then you wonder, like, are there any YouTubers in China on the China servers that people are like doing the same thing, or like how does that work? What's the community like over there? Might have to go visit. Steve Burgess and Chris Simmons are now employed by Hello Games. Well, good for them. So what? That just increases their team, which means Hello Games is going to support them on the game. I guess indefinitely, as long as they're. Yeah, that is cool. That is fun. This is so cool because these creatures go run and hide right before this guy wakes up. I find that really interesting. What kind of part do these creatures play? Gets me curious. Gets me really curious. Also, the contrast between orange and blue is really nice. You kind of wonder about the graphical requirements too. I mean, obviously it's no different than a lot of the games that are coming out today, but like this depth of field. Is there a photo mode? Please. Fortunately, I've yet to see comments regarding the backlash of No Man's Sky in relation to their new project. That's good. Great sign in terms of reputation. Oh, totally, man. Really, the focus shouldn't be No Man's Sky at all. It should just be Hello Games and these two developers. But hey, you know, I'm not the media, so what do I know? So much positivity by the last Campfire. It's good to see. Yeah, the art style is amazing. It's absolutely gorgeous. I can't quite put my finger on it, but the art style specifically reminds me of something. I played, what was it? Air Dreams of Old or something recently, and this kind of has that vibe. It also, I mean, that game also had the vibe of Journey and all that. Can't remember what the last one was. You can even download these images. Nice. Last Campfire logos. About Hello Games. We know all about you, Hello Games. We are Hello Games and we make games. Hello. We're a video game development studio and publisher based in Guildford and Cambridge in the UK, and we are proudly independent. Proudly independent. These guys coming from AAA titles. So you know they gotta be proud about that. We're the creators of multi-award-winning Joe Danger games. Those are games I haven't played yet. To be honest, I never really was interested in them. But I have to go back and play them. Just out of curiosity. The huge and evolving No Man's Sky and a recently announced side project, The Last Campfire, and when we're not doing that, we're probably working on something new. That's great. When the ARG for the last campfire. Please, God, no. We can't do that again. If there's going to be an ARG for this thing, it better only last like a month or something. There's your backstory. Right there. If this releases for the Switch, I will 100% buy it. You can't beat portability, especially with this game. This game seems like it wants to be portable, you know? It wants to be played. It has to release on all platforms. Actually, I would not discount mobile. There is a possibility they would do mobile. I don't know how likely that is, but it wouldn't be part of the release, the initial release. That might be like an afterthought. Who knows? With the way games are going and streaming to the cloud now, that could be possible. In like another year or two. All right, cool. We'll take a look at the trailer just one more time. Just one more again. Just one more again. Oh, that's interesting, yeah. Oh, totally. And those other two developers are taking care of that.
When the night comes and you don't know which way to go.
So the red guy's following those three other dudes.
Through the shadowland
This blue guy's going on a journey,
and forgotten
doing puzzles and stuff.
we'll find a road. Like an owl, you must fly in moonlight.
Who are these guys? They're like leaders, teachers, or something? That blue flame. Oof.
You were born to take the greatest flight. Like a serpent
That's so cool.
and a dove, you will have wisdom born of love and care.
Damn you, Twitter bird!
From above into the places no man dares to follow.
Red guy just keeps going.
Shelter from the storm.
Oh, it's so good. I just want to cry for that poor fella. You wonder what the colors signify? Red meaning an outcast, an enemy? It's a great question. I think my guess would be just to differentiate the characters. Red being something a little more difficult. Blue being a little more passive, calm, easy. Just the tone of the trailer, yeah. That song, I'm not normally into like acoustic playing, but I mean the progression of that trailer is just so good, and that fall off makes it so mysterious and like you want to know more. Like what the heck's going on here? In fact, they shared the artist, the musical artist, Josh Garles? Plot theory, oh boy. Maybe Red is cursed and you go on a journey to cleanse him. That is why he is sad at the end. It looked, I mean, you could see the environment was even closing in on the character. But remember, the description said together you go on this journey. So do you play both characters, or is this going to be like a co-op game where you have to play with someone? And we saw some red fires and blue fires, which are probably also very significant. So let's see here. I've never heard of this artist. Washington, D.C. Okay, wait, is there an about page? Bio. Spent more of a decade crafting his music, resting in the space between accessibility and honesty. Song wrestled and celebrated the mystery of faith with authenticity and heart. You could definitely hear that in the song, that's for sure. Cultivating a genre blending mix of folk and hip-hop. Oh, that's interesting. His stuff's gotta be on Spotify, right? Music explores themes of compassion, hope, longing, and liberation. So he sounds like a good fit for this game. A native of Indiana. Okay. Introspective lyrics and exploratory, I can't even read right now, that range from pastoral indie folk to hip-hop. That is so interesting. I really want to see, let's see, I really want to hear more. There he is, he's on Spotify! Oh, he's even got a Christmas album. What? Oh, it's perfect. Oh, this is gonna be some good listening later on. Good stuff. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons was cited as an experience the team really admires. That game is an interesting take on dual character gameplay. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. I don't immediately recognize that. Yeah, no, I don't recognize that at all. Another one I've got to add to the Steam wish list. Thank you, Sean. Also, thanks for the retweet. I typically don't even look at my Twitter after I start streaming. Okay. So that's the last Campfire. Really, really intriguing. Really beautiful. Just on every level. The design, the music. You really couldn't hear the sound design all that well. But even the sound design has a really kind of thick, layering kind of tone to it. Character design is on point. It's so mysterious. Like I want to know more. I want to know more. You play as two characters with one controlled on each thumbs. Oh, it's a bit odd. Huh. Might be a game for me and the wife to explore. Just push her over and start controlling it myself. Or vice versa. She just pushes me over. Let's jump into No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky has been getting updates like none other. I was talking to a friend of mine. You think you would really like it? The story is amazing. I love good stories in games. Good. I'm gonna bookmark that then. No Man's Sky's been getting a lot of updates. I was talking to a friend of mine. He expressed interest and hadn't played the Abyss update yet, and I told him there was another update that came shortly after the Abyss, and he was very surprised and like, what? It's like, yep. Hello Games are at it. They're throwing in updates left and right. Just for free. So Visions is the latest update. I don't even think we've gotten an update to fix bugs yet, have we? I think I saw one small update. I'm playing on experimental with Steam, so I probably see updates that a lot of people don't see anyway. But it's exciting. I have some thoughts, I have some theories as to where Hello Games is going to take this. One update. Well, yeah, one update from the Abyss, but when you look at it as a whole... Oh, I see what you're saying. One update since Visions. I'm sorry. I was confused. Visions added some really interesting elements to the game, including procedurally generated crashed freighters. With the Abyss, we got underwater things. Visions, we have more variety of planets and exotic creatures and whatnot. God, that stuff is so eerie and so... I don't know. Visions actually had a few bugs on console, which made a nice change. Oh, been 8 days since an update somewhere. Made a nice change. Okay, good. The latency is killing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out too. This is kind of the first real round of YouTube streaming for me, so... I set up a few commands, but... well, I will figure it out, you know. As you do with testing and whatnot. An ember drifts from the flame. Embers are red, whilst the flame, at least an intense one, is blue. Oh my god! The last campfire could signify red being the last one of its color. Huh. That's a really good thought, a really good theory. I like that. Which makes it even more intense, more of a drive, more like stakes are on the line type deal. See, I'm trying to pull up the website now. Should have planned ahead, Kyle. Alright, release log. And... hey, Husband Vader, what's going on, dude? Excited to see you live stream on YouTube. What's up tonight? Man, nothing much. We're just, normally I jump on and start playing a game or something. Mixer has a mode without latency. YouTube is the worst. Twitch is 20 seconds. Actually, Twitch isn't that bad. I'm coming from Twitch, and I think I have like maybe a 2-second latency on Twitch. It's not that bad. Again, that all kind of depends on connection statuses between streamer and receiver, so we can blame the internet, right? My provider's not the best anyway, so but Mixer does have a what is it, FTL feature. I'm just not a huge fan of Mixer in general. It's great for a lot of people, a lot of streamers, which is fine, but it's just not my vibe. Then they improved Twitch. Yeah, I think so. I mean, they have their issues like every other platform, but I've been using Twitch for, I don't know, several years now. It's getting there. But yeah, we're discussing, we just got done talking about The Last Campfire. We're going through its website, the trailer, talking about a few theories here and there. And now I wanted to get into No Man's Sky and talk about some of the future updates that we might see within the game. I know some other No Man's Sky YouTubers had talked about what the next update's going to be, because we have an underwater update, then we had a planet update, and now people are speculating a space update. What in space can you update? So that's what I'm going to get into here in a second. What are my thoughts about Article 13, copyright? Article 13, what is it? Is it advocating something? Is it changing something? That is quite off base. I'm gonna try to stick to my thoughts here. I don't want to get too derailed, because that happens from time to time. So what else can you find in space that they can update and change and make interesting in the same fashion that they've made underwater interesting and eerie, and planets interesting and eerie? Some of the things that I had in mind were abandoned freighters. Freighters that are just kind of like floating in space that you approach and can land on. Now, part of that is kind of inspired, the thought is inspired by the abandoned space stations. And now with the procedurally generated crashed freighters, I'd love to see some abandoned freighters just floating around with pieces around them, you know? Maybe a few fighters in their bay that are like not accessible anymore, or maybe they're crashed and you have to, if you can add them to your collection and fix them like you would a regular crashed ship. You'd like to see the abandoned freighters in space to explore and loot. Yes, explore and loot. Just like some of the update that we got with crashed freighters in Visions, where now you have like rooms to access and dig into and discover the little trinkets in there. I'd like the same thing in space. So you have freighters that have kind of the same elements, and then you have containers outside the ship kind of floating around that you shoot at or whatever, and you need like a, you know, that specific mining beam or whatever. I'd love to see something like that. It definitely dives into the exploratory aspect of the game that I absolutely love, discovering something new. Discovery has always been kind of the forefront of why I enjoy this game so much. Could be a base update, more parts, better optimization, higher complexity. Better optimization? Ha! You think anybody voted for that? I'm kidding. I totally did. I wanted that kind of near the top. Sean, you read his mind. Totally did. Snap. Whoa. It's something you thought about a lot. Yeah, me too. They could add lore logs. Yes, mission logs from the ship also. So you discover mission logs that kind of tell the story of the ship. Kind of like we do when your fleet goes out and they come back and they have like a mission to report. Kind of like that. But they're like super eerie. Kind of like the abandoned buildings. Maybe not so abstract, but in that same realm, I think that'd be creepy as hell. I'd love that. Yo, Ivy, what's up, dude? Need that 120 FPS. Yeah. If only. Yeah, they already have abandoned space stations. Freighters can't be too difficult. I think there'll be a lot more to freighters, especially when it comes to like looting and whatnot, because the space stations are basically the same, just a lot of inactivity, you know? I feel the pain, Vader. I totally feel you. Yep. In fact, that was happening to me on one of my bases, and I ended up having to just abandon it and build somewhere else and start a new base. Abalone! Welcome. I hope I didn't pronounce that too terribly. The last Campfire could have Easter eggs about No Man's Sky and Joe Danger. I'd love to see that. Someone joked about there being a last Campfire ARG. God, no. I sure hope not. Let's keep this thing grounded, people. They need an economy where you can lose your whole stash. Yikes. No risk, no reward type deal. I feel ya. I get it. Need creepy faction like an Elite Dangerous Thargoids. Well, see, that's what's interesting, Sean. I'd love to see NPCs, other pirates, on board those abandoned freighters. Also, mining and looting and whatnot. That's something a lot of people are kind of have been curious about. Are, you know, how much of activity are we going to see from NPCs other than them just kind of standing around looking at their tablets? At some point, they've got to start walking around and interacting with each other. That's another thing that I really wanted to see, was them performing certain tasks. So let's say you land on a capital freighter, a capital ship, and there's a fighter already parked on one of the front spots, and there are maybe 2 or 3 NPCs in a position making it look like they're working on the ship or refueling it or something to that nature. And then when you're ready to take off, they unattach everything and run off. Maybe they have little I don't know, rooms or something that they run in and out of. That would be, I'd love to see more interaction or more activity, I guess, more movement from the NPCs. Although that is a work in and of itself. You think about where they have to be, the collision system, multiplayer, and all that jazz. You either go all in for that kind of change, or you just test the crap out of that for like a year and get it perfect before you implement it. I wouldn't mind a more player-driven economy, but that could get complicated. Just ask Eve. Oh god, Eve. Wasn't that the game that they had like the most expensive space war? It was like $1 million or something? And it lasted like 25 minutes. I don't think we could see walking NPCs for a long time. Yeah, you know, I hate to admit it, but I think I agree. Love the idea. I can't see being able to do it in the current gen. Yeah. Yeah. Who's that? Oh, this is just my mechanic. That would be really cool to come out to, right? You load up your save, you run down to your ship, and there are NPCs surrounding your ship, and you're just like, wait, who are you? You get out of here! Don't touch my stuff again! If I saw a No Man's Sky NPC walk around, I'd freak out. Exactly. You know, just start screaming at him. Only took him 2+ years. And that would be a huge change, yeah. You think that could be part of the story, because Hello Games could add predetermined paths. It's possible for a lot of bugs and glitches will happen. I agree. I totally agree on that. A lot of those moments where you interact with your what do you call them? The mechanic at your base, or the scientist, or those NPCs. I feel like there could be more movement with those particular tasks. Like whatever they're talking about. Like, you know how you approach some NPCs and they say they were looking at something on their tablet and suddenly they were aware you were there and put it away hurriedly. Like, I want to see that happen. It kind of takes away from the whole D&D kind of aspect of reading everything, but at the same time, it's like, I still want to see it. I still want to see it happen. Getting Nada and Polo walking around first? Oh, totally. If anybody, it should start there. The synthesis bot can just stay where he is, because he's a bot, right? If NPCs begin walking, imagine if you return to your base and a bunch of pirates are looting everything. Totally, man! I would love that to death. Once we get to that point, you and me, Sean, we're gonna high five. Alright, so another thought that I had were more variation in asteroids. You look at some of the asteroids and systems and you have what, 3 or 4 different variations. You have the asteroids you can shoot and get titanium or gold or silver from, and then you have some asteroids that are just huge potatoes that you break apart. Those are also random elements, not random, but other elements. Then you have the other asteroids that look like crystals. I don't think I've seen any other kind of asteroid, but those crystals are different colors depending on the element, depending on the system. I would like to see more variation in the asteroids. Size, color, texture. Some asteroids could be so large they house outposts that you can land on. These outposts are kind of like the outposts you would find on the planet, just maybe a little more spread out, just a little. And it would act as it would like a frigate. You can't jump off. If you jump off, you die to the vacuum of space. But that outpost also has different kinds of loot. Maybe it's abandoned, maybe it's not, I don't know. But just that idea, I would love to see that. Love to be able to come across those randomly going through asteroid belts and whatnot. I think that'd be really cool. That whole discovery aspect, again, that I absolutely love about No Man's Sky. Space-based building would be cool. Oh, yeah, okay. Make your own space station, maybe in asteroids. People have already started making their own space stations. They build all the way up into the atmosphere and start building up there. It's really phenomenal what the community is capable of and the patience they have to do that kind of thing. I was in the middle of building the Sky Tower from Oblivion and I gave up. Well, I didn't give up. I paused because it was just a little too tedious for me at that point. Plus, with the whole base issue, every time I kept coming back to it, it would stall my frames, and it just wouldn't be worth it, really. A large asteroid with an entire base inside of it. Just like, you know, The Last Starfighter or something. I'd love to see that. That's classic sci-fi right there. If that's not classic sci-fi, I don't know what is. They had landing on asteroids working a long time ago, so I can see that happening. Yeah, but that wasn't really intentional. That was more of a glitch. Scanning space rocks is a must? Yeah. Where do those discoveries go? Like part of the system discovery? Because you know how planets have their own list of discoveries. Suborbital space stations are pretty impressive indeed. I think they need to make all their new stuff a bit more sporadic. less ringed planets, more rarity in exotic biomes, less planets with animals and fish. I think everybody's kind of agreed with that. I will say, however, I have not seen as many rainbows. I've come across maybe 3 instances when a rainbow appeared, and it seemed like there were very specific instances as to what time of day the planet was on, and where I was coming in on the planet. It seemed very specific. So I haven't been drowned out by rainbows, thank goodness. So I've really enjoyed that feature. It's a small thing, but it's really cool. A nice touch. Yeah, I think a lot of people are doing that, Vader. Just glitching out of their ship base. I think that was before Atlas Rises, right? Like, Foundation? Was that the one before? I can't remember. No, you're talking pre-release No Man's Sky. They took it out. Wait, took what out? It's that latency. It's killing us now. Ruining the conversation, YouTube! Come on! Ring planets need to be less rare. Needs to be more rarer. It's before Atlas Rises, yeah. Alright, hold on a second. I got a few texts from the wife. Oh no! One of her headlights went out. Just another item to take away from our Christmas spending for each other. we allot each other a certain amount of money to get each other something special, you know. One of our previous years, we ran into some financial setbacks, and it wasn't that big of a deal, but it just made us more appreciative of each other. And the presents we did get were absolutely hilarious. She's my heart. Yeah, they need to be more rare. It's okay. It's all good. We all do typos. I'm a grammar Nazi, but I understand. In reality, a lot of planets are ringed. In the future, the Earth could be ringed. Yeah. If you blow up the moon, it's going to wrap around the planet. You researched it a bit when I thought there was too many ringed planets? Yeah, okay. It becomes especially interesting when you find ringed planets that also have moons. That's when I'm like, okay, like, I know it's science fiction, but that moon should have either a million trenches or, I don't know. I like sticking to science fiction because of the imagination that you can pull from that genre. Your wife and you do the same thing. Yeah, it's just smart, right? Make sure you don't overdo it for one another and become resentful afterwards. There's an exoplanet which has rings larger than Saturn. That's crazy. Some diversity in ship cockpits would be nice, even if just slight variation, colors, etc. I agree. Another thought I had, which actually I think I saw this on Reddit. Someone mentioned when you go into first person in your fighter or ship, whatever it is, you see the nose of it, like you see the front of it. When you jump into your ship now, it's not there. Like, it's not modeled. It's just, you don't see it. When you land, it becomes apparent and visible because that's, you know, just how the game works. But someone mentioned, why can't we just see the nose of the ship? I thought that's a fantastic point. You look left and right and you're like, where are my wings? What's going on? Sean Murray in 2015. You forgot to add a few likes in there. Like, yeah, like the moment like you land on asteroids, like I think they took a lot out before they released it. I mean, we know they took a lot out. Am I a fan of The Expanse, books and or TV show? I watched the TV show and I'm absolutely a fan. The first episode had me hooked. I went into the second episode. The third episode went right through season 1, right through season 2, and I was just like, my God. That's a fantastic, wonderfully diverse, different, refreshing take on colonizing space. So weird, too. Politically? Oh my God. Like, that crap's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. More than 50 moons! I completely forgot about that. I always think about the 5 or 6 that scientists, like, you know, focus on. VR support would help sell the PSVR units. Yeah, but do they really want to do that? Does Sony really care that much? Sony doesn't care about No Man's Sky. They're on multiple platforms now. I'm not a huge fan of Sony in general. Did you know Sony's tech that they use in their console is built and designed by Microsoft subsidiaries? Sony's using Microsoft product. They always have. Haven't been that excited by a sci-fi show like since Stargate SG-1. Ah, totally, man. Vader, you and I are there. I get you. Don't get me on the newest Stargate thing they did. I feel like they made that sad excuse for a show simply to retain the rights of Stargate. Yeah, it's such a bummer too. Anyway, moving forward with another thought here. Let's see. Procedural cities. What would that mean for the lore of the game? If we have cities, not ruins, mind you, but cities. This is a really hot topic right now. Everybody's talking. Okay, not everybody. The No Man's Sky community is talking about this because of some of the things that we saw happen last year, or I should say earlier this year, with hiring what's his face who does procedural dungeons. And so a lot of us are speculating cities in the future, in near future. We even speculated in the Next poster. People saw the poster in Next and they looked at the little city, the little skyline in the background, and thought that's a city. Procedural city. Hey Jordan, what's going on, dude? Hey, it's good to see you too. That's an interesting thought, Sean. I'm a fan of all platforms too, by the way. Facts are facts. Not enterable, so you can't enter the atmosphere of the planet. You have to send down a probe, basically, to get more information on the planet. I really like that mechanic. It really stretches the idea of mystery and discovery in the game. Against Infinity, welcome, dude. Neutron stars, please. Any kind of star than the one we have now. it's literally circling the planets. It's again one of those things that was taken out before release. Rotation. They had planets rotating. They took that out. From a lore side, they could say that as the barriers between realities break down, the Sentinels aren't able to suppress civilizations, and outposts are growing into cities. Definitely feasible. Like gas giants. Yeah, we haven't seen any gas giants yet. That would be really, really cool to see. What do you think would be in the cities though? They have these procedural cities, and judging by what we already have with these outposts and manufacturing facilities and trading outposts, what do you think would be a city? Like, I'd expect something relatively large, right? At least 20 times bigger than a normal little village that we get now. Abandoned cities. Yeah. Along the lines of the abandoned freighters, abandoned space stations, abandoned other things. Shops, definitely. I'd love to see some shops. Maybe not necessarily the shops you find in space stations, although they could exist there. Maybe other kinds of shops that have just random NPCs that have unique random items, like you know, multi-tools. Maybe some people have coveted multi-tools that have like 50 slots or something. I don't know. Don't think we'll have cities with bustling NPCs, but more like ruins. I wouldn't say ruins. Maybe the abandoned cities, but ruins are very specific because they call to the lore of the game and kind of the backstory, the world that once was. You learn languages, you learn more about the alien races at ruins. You dig up old fossils at ruins. I don't think the cities are going to be like that, and if they are, those would be abandoned cities, long abandoned. Street vendor NPCs, totally, dude. Until they break the limit, yeah. There have been some really cool looking city-like bases. I think Boyd Gaming shared one of the his that he built for another player, and it looks fantastic. It really does look like a little village with a center that you can just walk around in, and it looks really beautiful. And the design and the way he used the materials to like build and make it look like it was lived in, like totally possible. Any pre-release content that you think would be feasible? I'd have to look at the list. I don't know. My mind goes straight to rotating planets and the planets rotating around stars. I would love to visit the star. If I could just visit the star, that would be cool. That would be fun. Hey, thanks Infinity. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. This is actually the first kind of real stream I'm doing on YouTube. I've always been streaming on Twitch, but I wanted to try something different. I wanted to try YouTube. So I tried to set everything up as much as I could. Obviously, there are still some commands that need some work, but I don't know. Let's see what commands. I think there's only Twitter's on there. Yeah, only yeah. You do what you can. I'll be adding a lot more to that, like little mini games and whatnot, similar to the stuff that I have on Twitch. Alright, another thought is multi-tools. Can we please hold more than one? I would love to hold a rifle multi-tool and a pistol multi-tool at the same time. You know how happy that would make me? And on top of that, see the multi-tool like on the player. So the pistol's on the hip, the rifle on the back. Like, I would love to see that. YouTube ain't too shabby. What's up, the pan? Yeah, YouTube's not terrible. It's not the best, but gets the job done, right? That multi-tool rack needs to be functional. ASAP! Ship parts desperately need to be custom built or collectible. Custom built ship parts. I like that idea. I don't think I've heard that one before. Building parts for your ship, kind of like the modules, the upgrades, whatever. Building those yourself. That's phenomenal. Maybe that's something you could also purchase in the vendors in the procedurally generated cities. You purchase material from those guys, and then you piece it together yourself, and bada bing bada boom, you got yourself a new starship. I would also like to see, this is something I also mentioned a while back, but I also would like to see in the same regard of building parts, increasing your slot size in your ships. So you know how you can increase your slots on your exosuit, right? Doing the same thing but with your ships or your freighter. And by increasing those slots, you also increase the class of whatever item that is. So, you know, whether it's an exocraft or your multi-tool, every time you add a slot, it increases the value, the cost of the multi-tool, and it increases from like C, B, A, all the way to S class. You'd love to start a multi-tool collection, dude. I started a collection already, but it's in like several different saves. Like every save has a really good multi-tool. Hell Games sent out a link recently to a survey. The survey asked for what kind of content you'd like to see. Yeah, I remember that. I believe they will cover it all. That should be your starting point for ideas and speculation. That's true. It's very true. I appreciate that feedback, Sean. I think I did see that too. I think Elka recently retweeted it back up. Hold on just a second here. Because I know Cobra commented on it. Because he also discussed it. Oh, well, I could just do it. Jeez. Get smart, Kyle. Get good. There it is. Okay. Yeah, Cobra tweeted it out. Okay. It's from today. Yeah. Polish of existing features. Replace orbs with full character models. I feel like that's in the plan already, and we don't have to worry about that. I feel like that's part of the lore updates. Kind of like when Atlas Rises came and Next came. Those were like major multiplayer updates. I feel like something that is going to be like, we don't even have to worry about that. But the fact that they added it to the survey just begs all the questions. Hold on a second. Quality of life improvements. I mean, that's a must, right? A lot of people are asking for that. The inventory could be better. More base building depth. Yeah, I'd like them to fix base building first. I'm sure all of you guys know what I'm talking about. When that one part just doesn't line up just right. Like, why can't you just, like, flatten out? More depth and variety in NPCs. What does that mean, though? Depth? I understand the variety part, but depth? They've already introduced more cosmetics with the community events, so variety is definitely possible. That could be a very small update too, or at least part of a bigger update. Larger multiplayer lobbies. Again, I feel like that goes into the where is it? Replace orbs with full character models, the whole multiplayer thing. The orbs add to the lore. That's a very, very important thing. They can't simply change that without changing the lore, you know? Not much seen you streaming, though. I would jump in and say hi real quick. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and being able to sell them from your base and have to travel to other people's bases to collect and share. Yeah! Bringing in the multiplayer aspect a little more. That's a fantastic idea. Increasing the economy. So effectively shaping the economy of that system. That'd be kind of cool. VR support. Now, this is one I'm not too fond of. I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be real honest. I love VR. I do. I really enjoy it. There are some games that do it very well. But No Man's Sky in VR? I don't know. It's just, I don't think so. I don't see that happening. It's like a long off, as soon as Windows releases their, what do they call it? Multi-reality headset? I think that's what it's called. Because they announced it last year. They have yet to announce a release date for that thing. But they're working on it. Yeah, I don't think Hello Games has any kind of incentive to create any kind of VR rendition of the game. And I feel like that's so many resources that go into that. That would see, but Xbox doesn't support VR yet. I think that's part of the conversation. If they're going to do VR, at least I would make sure that every platform can do VR before they move forward with that. And then other, which is kind of what we're talking about now. So holding multiple multi-tools is a draw that I've kind of come across more so recently now. Like, I've been wanting it, but even more now, especially after Sean tweeted out one of my photos. Just name drop there, no big deal. It was a shot that I'm really proud of. It's a shot of my character holding the rifle multi-tool at his side while my ship was landing behind me. To think, like, you know, getting those kind of shots, what if the rifle was on my back and the pistol was in my hand and I didn't have to spend 20 minutes trying to get the right timing down to get that shot? You know? Purely from a technical standpoint, what do you think the PSS Next box can offer No Man's Sky? Sounds trivial, but really think about it. Oh, PS5. Oh, yeah, the pixels were mutated there for a second. Next box. I haven't heard that term before. That's funny. Technical standpoint, what do you think it can offer No Man's Sky? Let's see. A lot, actually. Oh god, it's so hard to talk about because I already know like what's gonna happen for Xbox, because I work at Microsoft, so, and I work with a team inside of Xbox. But it's going to be good. It's... The tools are getting very powerful. Very beneficial for developers. If anything, it'll make their job a lot easier. Really amazing things coming up on the horizon, though, for Microsoft in general. That's all I'm going to say. Part of me thought that's why you were asking the question. Yeah, I've been there for about a little over 2 years now. I've been embedded in that team within Xbox, working with their third-party developers and the tools that those developers are using to create games for Xbox. I don't know a lick of code, so don't feel like I know anything about that. I'm more on the video side of all of that, just trying to help explain the tools for those people a little easier. You know, it's easier to watch a video than read 8 pages of documentation on the tool. But anyway, I've digressed just a little. Okay, space whales, right? You gotta see space whales out there. Or some kind of creature. Some sort of anomalous creature. My thought immediately goes to the Star Trek Next Generation episode. It might have been, I think it was, it's one of the first episodes. I think it was the pilot episode, actually. Where they ran into a huge creature in space who... Nah, it was one of the first episodes. It was an energy-based creature that accidentally hitched a ride on the Enterprise and started like malfunctioning every single system on the ship until I think Data figured it out or something. Ended up releasing the creature, and you get this like amazing reveal of the creature in space and them like reuniting again. It's like, I want to see something like that. Creatures in space. Small, big, anomalous. Whales, whatever you want to call it. Would love to see that. Those were most of the ideas that I had. No Man's Sky has come such a long way, as we all know, and it is healthy to speculate about these things that might come in the future, things that we want to see, because clearly Hello Games is listening, they're paying attention, and they not only want to make the game really great, but they want to make it great for us. So it's just a matter of like knowing, what did everybody vote for? You think Elite Dangerous introduced space-based life forms recently? Yeah, they did. Myths and legends. Oh, that would be cool. Kind of like Herc and Null. Super rare. Like, it's got to be one of those systems that you can only get to with a very specific hyperdrive. Photo mode contest? Imagine renaming your super rare creature. I don't even want to go there. Okay. And then we had the community events. God, I'm so thrilled that they started something like that. I know a lot of the content creators that I talk to, they got tired of it pretty fast, but I for one really enjoyed it. Each one could definitely get better in their own way, but I always found myself really enjoying kind of digging into each grind. Like, each one was different, and they got more grindy as we went. I especially liked the photo mode, the picture taking tasks. Those were some of my favorite. Find a very specific planet to go to and take pictures of the underwater creatures. It's a great way to introduce you to different environments, different creatures in general, different kinds of mechanics. Definitely get you introduced to photo mode itself, let you know, hey, you can take these amazing photos in the game. I want to know, what were some of your guys' favorite moments in the community events of Season 1? We've just finished week 8 of 8. Fortunately, everybody hit 100% on their 3 tiers. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Season 2. Any additional space vehicles you would like to see? Space vehicles. I mean, variation is always nice. Space vehicles. I would like to be able to control my own freighter or frigate, fly it wherever I want it to. It's kind of where I'm leaning to, because right now you've got your capital ship and your frigates locked in one point in space. I want to jump into the driver's seat, just ride that thing around the system. Favorite moment: the amazing planets Hello Games chose for their weekly events. Totally, man. And did you catch I think it was this most recent one. The planet we came to was also a planet that was used. Oh, I'm blanking. It was used previously by Hello Games. I can't remember what it was. But it was such a cool thing to figure out and be like, wait a minute. I've been here before. Maybe it wasn't week 8. I can't remember. But yeah, each planet was something to look at. The very first one, I remember. It was the floating anomalous glowing pillar rocks. I'd never been to a planet like that. In over... what is it? Over 13... No, I think at that point it was like 1100? I don't know. Over 1100 hours on the game, I had never run into one of those planets until they gave me the address and I went to it. Totally cool. Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it, guys. Those are all the points that I wanted to hit. We talked about Hello Games' new game. Sorry, I saw a message. We talked about Hello Games' new game, The Last Campfire. Really excited to see that come out on definitely wishlisted on wishlisted. I added it to my wish list. Pretty sure it's gonna come to consoles. Like, why would it not? The planet we used when hundreds of players met up near a portal. version Alice Rises as a result of in-game lore. Hundreds of players met up. Oh wait, was it the it was some sort of other community event. I'm gonna have to look it up. Anyway, The Last Campfire, a gorgeous looking game made by two developers, being brought up by Hello Games. I'm really looking forward to playing that. Really looking forward to the overall aesthetic, story, and see what the multiplayer aspect is like, whether it's a joint multiplayer with two characters, or if you play both characters yourself, or maybe it's both, who knows. We talked about No Man's Sky, theorized No Man's Sky. It's kind of my first time throwing guesses out there. I don't normally do this kind of thing, but thank you guys for coming along. Thank you guys for sharing your ideas. Sean, it's always great to hear from you because you are just full of ideas. Vader, thanks for pitching in. The Pan, thanks for jumping in last second. Let's see who else am I missing? Other Sean. Jordan, thanks for watching, man. Against Infinity, thank you, thank you. Ablone, your excitement about the game just excites me. Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm going to do this again. I don't know when, though. Having an actual schedule for a stream is like pulling teeth sometimes. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Stay safe out there, travelers. I don't even have an ending screen. I don't have a stream is ending screen yet. I'm just gonna have to end it. Whatever.